Greetings, I'm Vincent. Thanks for joining me for the WhatsUp Gold 2016 What's New sections. As a quick introduce, so that from this specific version, WhatsUp Gold 2016 is after version 16.4, and from here onwards, WhatsUp Gold is intended to go back by using the years. So, okay, from this specific version, we are talking about something new. So we will talk about specifically on the storage monitoring. Yes, now is fully supported in this thing. And then it's talking about also revamp and totally new kind of the package and the totally new licensing. Then it's governing in terms of the value and point system. We're talking more specific. And then for the better PCI support, now we are talking about for the security TLS 1.2 is already in these specific versions. Storage monitoring, so we will be talking about from this version onward. Storage monitoring is building into this 2016. Talk in upfront first, this specific feature you can only use it in a specific new package we are talking about. So with this storage monitoring function and usage requirement, so now you can add the capability to monitor the NetApp storage device using the WhatsUp Gold. So here, of course, we will create a new SMIS credential tab. Previously, it's not accessed. At the same time, now you can create a remote SMIS active monitor. It is all invented to support the storage monitoring. With the storage monitoring, so now you also can create a new regulated array active monitoring to check the operation state of the node on the monitor storage device. On top of just all those new features we're talking about, now you're going to add the auto-detect the storage device control to a one option for the discovery. You will enhance the capability of the interface performance monitor to support the additional data source on storage monitoring environment. Enhance the capability of the temperature monitor to function within a storage monitoring environment. We also talk about the enhance the capability of fans active monitor to function within a storage monitoring environment. Enhance the capability of the CPU performance monitor to support storage monitoring environment, and enhance the capability of the power supply active monitor to function within a storage monitor. So you can see from here in the quick, so we are talking about the interface, we talk about the temperatures monitor, we talk about the flash, we talk about the CPU, and then for the power supply, all specific catered for the storage monitoring. In a quick overview, so this WhatsUp Gold 2016, the storage monitoring overview, it is there to help you to gain valuable insight into your storage utilization across your business. This is why we're building the new automated discovery using SLMP or the SMIS-S. This is the new one. So ability to report an alert on the volume utilization and the statistic, analyze the traffic loop through the network interface, and then monitor hardware system level component like power, fans, temperature, CPU utilization, regulated array, and track the storage access information right now in the complete unified monitoring scenario to include on the storage monitor. NetApp supports, now is support for the NetApp FLS 220 and then the 25003. So that from now onward, so you can have the WhatsUp Gold to provide the end-to-end monitoring. Now it's extended to include also the storage monitoring. Subsequently, I will talk about the discovery process for the SMIS and SLMP, the new active monitor, utilization report, CPU, this volume, network interface, and then we'll jump into the total new licensing from here. As you can see from this new dashboards, from the discovery there, from now you can edit the role for SMS agent. Here is a specific new role that can be assigned from here. It is all specific for the storage monitoring. From here, okay, you can start to see the role for the storage array also. That is something previously is not able to do so. storage cluster, the role also supported right now. When the type form discovery, so you can create, for example, storage monitoring and then put everything. This stage you can be accomplished during the type form discovery stage. After you assign the group, like for example, the storage monitoring, all those storage device, you will put it into one table like view for you, for easy to be managed, to know what is inside them. This is for the device specific property view on the storage device. All those things, you see the new icon we're talking about, and then he will auto return and pull in all the correct information regarding for the specific device. And for the active monitor, you will notice that they will have SMIS monitor, something new on top of the pin to be available for you to use. And for the device, creating the performance monitor for the storage device. So you can see that here they have, by default, you automatically have to check for the disk utilization because it is the storage device. Then of course on top you can add in other measurement if you feel that is relevant to you. This is a quick view on the device specific that we're talking about the storage device. So you see that of course for the storage device, usually they have a lot of disk. Like this one is for disk utilization that you may need to regular monitoring, so it's before it will net. Pulling out the disk so that you can see also the disk utilization based on, for example, the single device. So you have a quick understanding for the holistic view how about the specific storage device have been performed. For interest to know about a specific utilization in terms of percentage, you can pull down the specific disk, also at the same time for average based on the all disk. For this one is talking about, we can make it a pin, then we rated the range, we're talking about the new active monitor, the fans, power supply, temperatures into the specific storage device with intention monitor. This gives a quick disk CPU summary and memory summary for you. In terms of you can play about the meter by the cellular CPU utilization, whether it's healthy, and then you can see about like CPU utilization. Depend here what you want, so you can add in here as well. CPU utilization by the storage node CPU on average, if you're interested to know about how your device is performed along the period of time. For the device, the storage device, we talk about the interface in specific, that you're interested to know how the interface utilization for your storage device, you can monitor it from there. At the same time, also have a holistic view for all the specific on in terms of percentage transmit and receipt. Storage device, the utilization for the interface, so for the receipt, and the same time for transmit, right? So you can see from here also. As mentioned earlier, so we are from this version onward, 2016, moving to the point system. This one is why you notice that in the licensing, why they start to have the point use kind of thing will be shown in the licensing screen here. Now let's talk about the package and total view licensing. This will move away from the previous base license and then the plug-in kind of the architecture for the licensing. We will introduce for the new, the so-called the basic view, pro view, total view, and total view plus product package with a customer-friendly licensing. Because this is really based on the buying experience kind of a licensing compared with previous in terms of plug-in architectures. From the past, we talked about buy the base license, then the premium distribute center or MSP version, by individual plugin with a different licensing tier. The problem is that you may overbuy in one and underbuy in the other, right? So end up you have a lot of unused licensing on there. So, but by moving to this the new, I call it the total view licensing scheme, that now you are buying based on the package. He have only good, better and best package, right? By a tier of concept of licensing, it will be given in terms of point. So no one can determine how you want to spend the point. So no one knows best than you. So you may make use of all the point across all the specific feature and functionality built into the specific package, you can reduce the point across the function available within the package, right? It's based on the changing need, operation requirement, and so on. The package we just mentioned about the total view licensing. So now you're moving to only have 4 packages. The basic view, where he provide you discovery, availability status, performance, edit, reporting, and inventory. For those who noticed is very associated with the previous licensing because it was WhatsUp Gold standard. So ProView here it is for monitoring of network, server, and wireless infra. This is what they call ProView. So that provide beside the discover, availability, performance, monitor, we talk about the server and wireless monitoring, and then for the editing in terms of upload threshold, real time, and historic report, the SSG, right? Split second graph previously mentioned, those things is features only WhatsUp Gold Premium, and then inventory for hardware software access, and then moving to a more complete enterprise requirement. We have something called end-to-end visibility of network application and storage and virtualization. In this package we call Total View, you have all the features over the ProView, plus 3 things it is do not have. We talk about the flow monitor, the VMware monitoring, application and web monitoring, or we call end user monitoring. And of course, this 2016 version, new feature, we talk about the storage monitoring. It's only available on Total View and onwards. And of course, the ultimate package we're talking is the Total View Plus. Have all features of the Total View package, plus the configuration manager. The most config feature previously that is for the network, router and switches, configuration, monitoring, and change and management is available over here, and then plus come with throughput, right? So this is a very quick overview on what we keep is of the different packages. Since we're talking about point, then it's good to know about how the point is calculated. For instance, for the network monitoring, we talk about the router switches, wireless controller, AP, firewall, all those kind of equipment, or we using 1 point for one device. For server monitoring, same is 1 point per server. VMware monitoring is 1 point for host or guest virtual machine you're talking about. Storage monitoring is same for 1 point, one device. However, for network flow monitoring, it's talk about 10 point per source. And application performance monitor, APM in specific, is also 10 point per application. End user monitoring, electrons we're talking about, is 1 point per end user monitor. And then for configuration management, there is no point, because why? This one is only available in entitlement inside the Total View Plus only, right? However, the device specific will count as inside the point on the device there already. As here, we can quick have a new licensing pricing. Of course, it is based on USD for the utilization purpose. It may change from time to time. However, you can see that from the device point we're talking about is 25 for start, 100, 300, 500, 1000, 2005, and then it jumped to unrestricted already. Compared with previously, we have something else in between here. So in this particular package we're talking, so here we're talking about basic view, and then the Pro View, Total View, and the Total View Plus. So all the new license, the purchase license, will come with 1 year of software update and subscriptions. So for instance, from the people, let's say, user interest for the basic network monitoring, you look for basic view here. This one with some real-time from wireless and server monitoring is typical for more specific enterprise. And then this is for the enterprise looking for the visibility, virtualization management monitoring, storage monitoring also here, where we're talking about storage, monitoring, and then from this is coming with the additional tuner, and more important that if you have the need for the change management, the configuration, then this is the only one available. Besides those things we are just covered, now we continue for the TLS 1.2 security support. From this specific version, he said upgrade the .NET library from 4.0 to 4.5. Of course, of the upgrade, so now the library is provide support for TLS 1.2. So this will allow the WhatsUp Gold to monitor the server using TLS 1.2 protocol and support for the HTTPS content monitor and SSL Certificate Monitor. From those, it is required for the PCI environment. For example, for the payment processing from payment card industry, that we're talking PCI, for all kind of the related that looking for the TLS 1.2 compliant, right? It is from this version is supported. In terms of the system requirement from OS, minimum startup from now onward. Of course, it's recommended from the production environment looking for server. Minimum we're talking about is server 2008, 32 or 64-bit to the latest 2012 R2 64-bit architecture we are talking. For the database, it depends on specific version, so we can start talking about from the 28205, R2 2012 and 2014 is supported on the Microsoft SQL. For web server, it depends on which version of the Windows server we're talking, so most likely you'll end up in whether you are IIS 6, 7, IIS 7 or 8 we are talking about. For the web and mobile interface requirement, so this interface now is supported the IE 9, 10 and 11 onward, Firefox 40 and Chrome 44 were tested with the WhatsUp Gold 16.4. However, the new version from those browsers was supported by WhatsUp Gold, but not even so, no get all the specification go to test. And then from the vast virtual, the virtual environment, right? If you have environment on that, then he will be supported, the plugin was supported. The VMware vCenter, we're talking about version 4, 4.1, 5, 5.5, and 6. VMware EAXI version, we talk about 3.5, 4, 4.1. And then for the more newest VMware EAXI, right, is 3.5, 4, 5, 5.1, 5.5, and 6 supported. For wireless device, controller and IP, we're talking about the support component, we talk about the Cisco, Aruba, Melu, and the Lucas kind of equipment. For flow monitor, of course, we are talking about you will require to have the NetFlow supported equipment that support NetFlow version 157 or 9, or whether it's a NetFlow Lite, flexible NetFlow version 9, and SEL, NetFlow Secure Event Logging, SFlow version 205, J4, Juniper, and then the IPFIX. In terms of the hardware for this version, I talked about the minimum. Actually, that is recommended from the processor first. We talk about 2.4 GHz. And then we're talking about 8 GB memory for the minimum. Right? Actually, from good, actually from 32 or 64 GB is recommended for large environment. But for the minimum we're talking is recommended devices is commonly for between 8 to high years. Is based on how many so-called add-on and plug-in you will be create and the extensive of the custom monitor you will be using. And then for one thing that is regarding for the dedicated SQL server, we will be also hungry for a lot of memory. So if in terms of affordable, usually we will arrive with a higher memory put into the system for better smooth performance, right? Where the minimum is 2.4, right? So you need to maybe looking for something higher than that. For customer, with customer that have the requirement to add additional pooler to each the pooling requirement, then the minimum, we're talking the minimum is Qualcomm for 2 bits with a 4 gig memory with at least the 2 gig space for the application. The network interface 100 meg for 1 gig we're talking. And then OS, we're going to see for the requirement for the OS or you doing in the virtual environment, then you see for the virtual resources requirement from there. Thank you for joining us for the section. I hope that they provide you a quick what's new on the version WhatsUp Gold 2016. Of course, you can get all those additional extensive information from our website www.e-espincorp.com. And of course, if you are an existing customer, you are in the phase of the migration, you want someone to talk in more detail, how this thing will impact you and in terms of functionality and from all the evolution and so on, feel free to contact us for the arrangement. Thank you.